Hello everyone and welcome to episode 24 of Let's Play Dead Space. This is the finale of the series as a whole, and just like the last 3 episodes, we did stream this on Twitch, and I'm having to post-commentate this. So let me explain. We did stream this on Twitch, like I said, but unfortunately when we streamed it on Twitch, it only captured my half of the conversation. It didn't capture Dalton's half. And that we decided that instead of trying to just have Dalton record his half of the conversation by listening to what I had said in this video and responding to it, that it would probably make more sense as a conversation if I and him just sat down and re-recorded the entire thing. And that does mean that we are losing the audio from the game itself, which kind of sucks, especially given that this is the ending of the game. You're going to miss the audio for the game's ending and the plot twist that happened right there and everything. But you know, I'm sure you can find that some other place if that's what you're looking for. I would really like to think that people would come to my Let's Plays to see me and Dalton, our personalities, that kind of thing. But yeah, losing the audio for the game. I am, however, putting the soundtrack from the game in the background of these videos for you guys to check out. So it's not just me and him talking back and forth and nothing else. So that there's actual audio to fill in the background beyond that. And I think it works pretty well, having watched the 3 episodes so far that I've done that way. I do think it worked pretty well. Now, I have one other unfortunate thing here, and that is that I'm recording this by myself. See, we did record both episodes 23 and 24 last night, right? And we got episode 23 edited together, and it's up on the channel. You guys can check that out if you haven't. It went up last night. And then I went to look at episode 24 and see how the audio commentary for that turned out, and couldn't get the file to open. I don't know what happened, but I can't get the file to work. I have tried recovering it. I have tried every single thing I can think of to try to get it to uncorrupt or recover or open or anything, just so I could fucking edit it. And I spent hours upon hours doing this yesterday and today, and I could not get it to work. And then I eventually just fucking gave up on the whole thing and said, fine, I'll just fucking record it myself. So you're getting just me, because Dalton is not here to record with me right now. He is in Florida. I can't have him record with me because he's in Florida with family, visiting like Universal Studios and Disney, I think. Don't quote me on that. He'd have to tell you more about that. I'm not sure what all he does in Florida. But, yeah. You're stuck with just me, and that's kind of unfortunate. It's because I think the commentary works better when we both have someone to play off of. Like, when him and I are talking to each other, we get a good conversation going. I think it's more engaging. Oh well, what can you do? There's nothing I can do about this unless I wanted to wait for him to get home and try to record this again. But this is already the 3rd time that I'm trying to record a commentary for the final episode. I just want this Let's Play to be done at this point. I love this game. I love it a lot. But God, I just want this Let's Play to be done at this point, so I can concentrate solely on getting so I can concentrate entirely on getting my mind just went blank. The reviews done, and there will be reviews of this at some point. It will be a kind of the more shorter 15 to 20 minute, more compact reviews that I do of every single game that I Let's Play. And then there is a much longer, much lengthier video review coming up on Untold Legends Kingdom, which is a hack-and-slash role-playing game that served as a launch title for the PlayStation 3. It is the third such RPG in the series and the final one in the series. And I have already done the first two. If you guys haven't checked that out, you can scroll. You can look back through the reviews, the review playlist, or you could scroll back through the channel to find where I did those reviews. They were both PSP games. One of them was a launch title for the PSP, and the other one was the launch title was Brotherhood of the Blade, and the second one was I think a much better and much more fleshed out game called Warriors Code. And I'm looking up there. I died, and I'm looking forward to getting this review done. So because I promised you guys, like, over 2 years ago, so long ago that at the time I wasn't even the Doom Dog yet. The channel was still called Digital Delirium. I promised you guys, both here and on Facebook, that I would do a video review of the entire series, because I was looking online back then a couple years ago, and I was like, oh, I remember this series. I'm kind of nostalgic for it. I wonder what other people thought of it. So I was looking for video reviews, and I found almost nothing here on YouTube. Almost no video reviews of the games at all. So I was like, well, if nobody has done an in-depth dive into those, I've got the technical know-how for video editing and recording to do something like that. I'll be the one to do that. So that's a promise that I made for you guys, and that is a promise that I'm currently working on finishing up. I'm taking notes on every single video to get notes on. Here's the time signature for this bit of story, and here's what that bit of story says, and how it advances the game and the plot and everything. And I always do that to help myself out, not only in writing the script, but in editing. That's why I put the time signatures there, because otherwise I'd have to sit there and search through a bunch of footage and go, okay, I know this was in the story, but I don't remember what cutscene and what video it appears in. Let me spend 15, 20, 30 minutes searching through these videos to try to find it. Instead, I just okay, it's in part 4 of this Let's Play. At the 15-minute mark is this cutscene. I could just skip right to it and put that in the video, and that helps out significantly with speeding up the editing process. Now, it still takes a long time because it's a long video. RPGs are long games, and they're tough to do, and I'm going to take a break after that from RPGs and do a few other things that aren't RPGs, shorter games that are like 10 hours at most, like first-person shooters and stuff. Because I really like first-person shooters. It's my favorite genre along with RPG. But RPG is something that I will get back to, and I eventually need to Let's Play Final Fantasy II. I promised you guys years ago that I would do that after I did 1 and did the video review of it. Promised you guys I would do that, and I haven't done it yet. And my problem with that is doing the co-op ones, I need to stream it. I don't have any problem streaming it. What I have a problem with is editing it so that it doesn't take forever to get through the game. Because the best way to make sure that it doesn't take forever to get through the game is to edit out random encounters. And I'm worried about, if I edit out random encounters, how is that going to affect the ongoing conversation between Dalton and myself. So that's kind of a problem with editing that together. Beyond that, it is something that I want to do eventually. I just need to figure out the best way to proceed with that. So Final Fantasy II will come. I also need to do Separate Ways, because I promised you guys I would do Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways, and I'll probably do the PlayStation 4 version of that because it's gorgeous. It's so much prettier than the PlayStation 2 version of the game that I played with Dalton some time ago. And did a video review on it. That was a good, fun Let's Play. I enjoyed that a lot. It's a good game. And we will do more Resident Evil games in the future. Oh, and if you're wondering about it being October and me starting off the month with a horror game, well, don't worry. On the 31st, we will do our one-off horror game. And keep in mind that just because we did a one-off horror game doesn't mean we're not eventually going to do a Let's Play of it. I.e., last year I did Fear. No, the year before I did Fear. And I am planning on doing a Let's Play of Fear and Fear 2 so I can get to the co-op Fear 3, because that's part of what I really enjoy doing on this channel is co-op Let's Plays with Dalton. But for Fear and Dead Space, got to get through the first two games before you get to that one. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a little while before we get to that. But yeah, definitely going to do Fear, even though I've done it before. And I haven't decided what game I want to do. I'm leaning toward maybe Resident Evil 1. But I haven't decided. I could do Silent Hill as well. Here's the thing with that is, I don't know. Even though I've beaten those games and I really like them, I don't know them exceptionally well. And I don't want to spend like 30-minute videos just fiddling around getting almost nothing done because I can't figure out where the fuck I'm supposed to go next. And that's kind of what I fear that I would wind up doing in a Resident Evil or Silent Hill Let's Play. So probably follow some kind of guide really closely when I do those, so that I don't appear totally clueless just because I haven't played them in a long time or something, you know what I mean? They're fun games, they're great games, and I would love to Let's Play through them someday, and I'm sure I'll get to them. I would love to do more Fallout. I've thought about doing a Let's Play of Fallout 3, even though I did a full playthrough of it on the other channel and a video review of it, and I still think that video review is the best thing I've ever done. I'm very, very proud of it. I spent more time and poured more of myself into that than any other video I've ever done. It was very much a passion project, and I'm extremely proud of how it turned out. I really liked that Fallout 3 video. But I want to do more videos on Fallout as well, but the in-depth explorations of them. And the problem is, doing Fallout is a real challenge because just how many choices there are in the stories that result in you can do one thing or another, and the story will go in different places depending upon what you do. It makes it difficult to cover. That was a challenge going into Fallout 3, and it would be if I did 1 or 2 or do Vegas. Less so in 4, because there's really only like 1 or 2 major choices that actually matter in 4. And 4 would be a lot less positive than my Let's Play, my video on 3 was, because I don't like 4 anywhere near as much. I was rather disappointed by it, if I'm being honest. I probably talked about that in the past. But yeah, rather disappointed in 4. Didn't love it. Oh, I am working on a new project. I have talked about this in the past, but Eric and I want to do a movie review show. If you've seen Cinemassacre's, the Angry Video Game Nerd, his channel, Cinemassacre, his production company actually, they do a weekly review show called rental review, where they just pick a movie and then they sit around and just have roundtable discussions about it or whatever. Eric wants to do that with me, and it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while as well, because he was just messaging me. He's like, man, I really like that rental review. I would love to do something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I've been thinking about doing something like that as well. But the only problem is I live in Texas, he lives in Ohio, so we can't obviously sit down in the same room and do that. So we have to do it on like a Skype call, and I'm trying to get him to come up with some kind of on-screen character to represent him. And it can just, like, Eric, if you happen to be watching, it can just be a cartoon version of yourself if you want it to be. It can be whatever you want, dude. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, I'm going to go with my character for this channel, the Doomdog. And I'm thinking about just calling it Doomdog Cinema. It's not going to be on YouTube, though, because I know the recording, the movie industry is a lot more strict about what kind of things they allow and don't allow on YouTube, and they're a lot more strict with like copyright claims and copyright strikes and things like that. So I've seen like Angry Joe rant about it and all these other things, that people have had real serious problems with that in the past. I don't want any of that, so that will be entirely BitChute exclusive. I will create a brand new BitChute channel just for that whenever we get around to doing it. And right now I'm just kind of trying to get an answer from Eric on what he wants his character to be, so I can proposition an artist to draw all the different facial expressions. And I'll be going with the same facial expressions. I might add a few more, like, to the ones that I use in the Doomdog reviews. And I'm going to go with those for the movie channel, which, again, it's on BitChute. It will be on BitChute, and I will have a link for you guys when it is up and ready on BitChute. And if you hadn't figured it out, it leads you to a room here with a bunch of weapons and with a bunch of ammunition and supplies and stuff. You're going into the final boss fight here. And I had a little bit of trouble with this final boss, because the final boss is easiest if you have a quick firing, relatively precise weapon to aim, like the plasma cutter, and I ran out of plasma cutter ammo midway through this boss and wound up having to try out other slower firing weapons, which was a bit problematic in trying to beat him. Even though even if you fully power the weapons up, the plasma cutter is probably the weakest fully powered up weapon. It's very useful on this boss because, one, it fires fast, like the bullet, the energy blast from it travels at a faster speed than other weapons do, and it's noticeable. It's noticeably faster. So you can, like, shoot him in his rib cage faster. And pop these things faster. And you don't run the risk of, even though you shot, he got the rib cage closed before it could connect, kind of thing. But yeah, you guys can look forward to movie reviews, and it's not something that it's not going to be my major focus. That'll still be this gameplay channel, but it's something that I want to do because I love movies. I love talking about movies. It's a lot of fun. It won't be new movies. It'll be maybe sometimes we'll pick a new movie. Like if we both went to see a film, we'll pick it and go like, okay, maybe we want to talk about this. In those cases, it won't include actual footage unless it's from the trailers. But other than that, yeah, we will be able to talk about specific scenes, and I'll be able to just record the entire movie digitally and include gameplay, include movie footage when we're discussing it and stuff like that, and then I'll have the emotive portraits green screened in like I do with my video reviews for games. And it's not going to be scripted like my game reviews are. So it's not going to be the heavily scripted, carefully written kind of thing that you get on this channel. I would say be careful with these guys, but yeah, the boss monster's just gonna smack them down anyway, and when he does, they burst open and these little tiny creatures crawl out of them anyway. So there's really not much you can do about it. You're going to have to deal with them one way or another, and that's kind of a pain in the ass to actually deal with when you're fighting him. But overall, this is a memorable final boss for like size and scale and design, but it's not that difficult to actually take down. He usually telegraphs his attacks pretty well, and you can tell when he's about to swing his tentacles, and when he does, just continue, like, move to one side, wait for him to swing down, and as soon as he does, start moving to the other side, and you'll be fine. You'll easily avoid his attacks when you do that. He's really not that difficult of a boss to take down. I mean, he's better than someone like Wesker in Resident Evil 4. Not Wesker. The final boss of Resident Evil 4. Salazar? No, not Salazar. Sadler. Ramon Sadler. He's a better final boss than that, which really wasn't that good of a final boss. Anyway, kind of a disappointing final boss for such a great game. But this is certainly more memorable just because of its massive size and gross design and everything than that is. And this is the kind of final boss that when you first see him, you're like, how the fuck am I ever going to kill this thing? And it's got that intimidation factor working for it, and it works pretty well. Yeah, I don't know if I just ran out of plasma, or if I'm about to, but I do wind up beating this final boss and get to the ending of the game. I think if I remember right, I only died that one time in this video, which I guess I could have cut out, but it really didn't feel like it. Whatever, it really doesn't matter. I've died other times and left it in with live streaming this and taking the live stream and dividing it up and uploading it, editing the sound a bit to get it cleaner and sounding better, and uploading it directly to YouTube is essentially what I've been doing for this Let's Play. Obviously, for these last 3 episodes and then this one, that's not what I've been doing, because, as I explained earlier, we didn't get Dalton's half of the conversation, which I kind of had to find a way to fix that, and yeah, this is the solution I came up with. And if it's, I'm sorry about, yeah, see this? You see how much slower that fires than the plasma rifle does? That you run the risk of it takes so long for your blade to get there, that he closes up his rib cage and you can't get to those things that you need to destroy in it anymore. So it's easy just to do this with the plasma cutter, even though you got other weapons that are more powerful than it. I damn near maxed out all of my all the 4 weapons that I was using in this Let's Play, or the 4 weapons I was using at least for these few episodes of this Let's Play, because I didn't start off with yeah, see there, I ran out of plasma cutter. I didn't start off with the flamethrower. I switched it out so I could deal with those small little things that crawl all over you. But I damn near maxed out that. I maxed out the other 3 weapons, and I damn near maxed out that one. So I imagine if I was to play through this one more time, I would surely max out the remaining weapons, and I'd probably get the flamethrower right off the bat, because when you do a New Game Plus, it gives you a certain number of power nodes immediately, and it's probably enough to finish that off, because I think there's only 5 nodes left on the flamethrower. And I've never maxed out all the weapons in this game. I've never done it. I maxed out a lot of things, obviously, because this is the new game plus run of it. I'm running off of a gameplay file that was from 2011. So it had been a while. It had been quite a while since I played Dead Space. But I'll tell you this, man, this game really holds up. It's a lot of fun. So the Nationals are going to the World Series. They swept the Arizona. They swept the St. Louis Cardinals, and I don't know what the fuck happened to the Cardinals, but the team that played well and managed to beat the Braves didn't fucking show up against the Nationals. They looked awful against the Nationals. I mean, this was a very one-sided affair for pretty much the entire time. So I don't know what the hell. There, I beat it. I don't know what the hell happened with the with the Cardinals in this series, but they look awful. And the World Series game that was supposed to be held, not World Series, the American League Championship Series game between the Yankees and the Astros, that was supposed to be held today, got delayed because of weather, and that was gonna be Game 4. So I think they're holding Game 4 tomorrow, which was gonna be a day off. It's like a travel day. So they might do like Game 4 tomorrow, travel day, and then Game 5, or I don't know how they're gonna do it. I'm not used to them having playoff games get rained out like this, so it's kind of weird. But yeah, the Astros are up 2-1 as of recording this, and I'm hoping the Astros win, if nothing else, because I really, really, really do not like the Yankees. It'll be interesting to see how the Nats do, because they've been kind of on a miracle run for this, because they went from never been in a World Series in 50 years of existence, going back to 36 years as the Montreal Expos, and 14 years as the Washington Nationals, to a wild card berth, to winning the wild card ALDS against a Dodgers team that on paper should be much, much better than them, and won a lot more games than them, like 13 more games than them during the regular season, to beating a Cards team that you would think they would be much more evenly matched for, but it was just a slaughter because the Cards looked awful. You get one final jump scare, and then you get credits. So they've already far exceeded expectations, and to the Nationals fans, hold your head up high, man, because nobody expected this. Like, nobody expected them to get to the World Series this year. But here they are, and even if you don't win the World Series, which, given the two teams in the American League, seems like a decent bet that you wouldn't, you have put together a season worth holding your head up. You put together a very, very good year. And you should be proud. The Nationals should be proud of this season. Like, you get to hoist up the National League Championship banner at your stadium for the very first time ever, and that's a big deal, man. I remember the very first time the Rangers, it took them 49 years between being in Washington originally and then being in Texas to finally make it to the World Series when they did in 2010, and I cherish it, even though they got beat 4-1 in the World Series by the by the San Francisco Giants. They totally should have fucking beat the Cardinals the following year, but it is what it is. They'll win one eventually. God damn it. So yeah, big congratulations to them on that. Here's hoping that the Yankees don't make it to the World Series. I don't want the Yankees to fucking win another World Series. Fuck them. Fucking hate the Yankees. Oh, I should talk about what we're going to do next. Dalton and I have already decided what we're going to be Let's Playing next, and it's going to be a co-op Let's Play. Okay, so we're not doing this I play and he watches on Twitch and follows along kind of thing. It's going to be him and I play through the game together. And we're going to do Gears of War, the very first one. And we're doing the original version of Gears of War for the Xbox 360. And I know there's a PC version of that game, but A, it's not on Steam or GOG or anything like that. And B, getting a hold of it is kind of a pain in the ass to do nowadays. I mean, if you search for it on like eBay, like you're almost certainly going to find either the newer PC version for the that is a PC port of the Gears of War Ultimate Edition for the Xbox One, or you're going to find the original game for the Xbox 360 and like almost nothing else. Just finding footage of that PC version is hard in and of itself. See, Digital Foundry actually did a video where they were talking about the backwards compatibility, I think, of the game. And they said that it is very, very difficult to get it up and running on modern hardware. Okay, I'll trust you. I'll take your word for it. And we're just going to do the original version. And we're not doing the Xbox One version because Dalton doesn't have an Xbox One. Otherwise, I would happily do the Xbox One version because you get to fight the Brumac in that version, which is actually pretty cool. You got a whole chapter that's dedicated to trying to avoid him and hide from him as you run around this this small power plant and stuff like that, and then you eventually have to run out into the open and fight against him, and it's a challenging fight. It's a very challenging fight, and it's pretty fun. And I have never actually beaten Gears of War co-op before. I've never even played it co-op before. Done it single player, and it's a pretty good single player game. I've always had a problem with its storytelling because its storytelling is kind of weird. It intentionally does not give you information like backstory and lore and stuff on the world and everything like that. It's just going, okay, go here, do this, go here, do that, go here, do that, go here, kill the general, you're done. And it's like that. That's the kind of simple and straightforward and intentionally leaving a whole shitload of stuff out. And the storytelling did get better in 2 and 3 when it felt like it actually had a more proper plot. But that really wasn't the point of the first Gears. The point of the first Gears was to make you feel like a kill-all badass. And everything about the game's gameplay and sound design was built around that. And in that sense, it's very successful, and I've always heard that the best way to play it is with friends, and I've never done that, so I'm really excited about doing Let's Play Gears of War. Like I said, that'll be our next Let's Play, and I'm really looking forward to that. So you guys can look forward to that as well, and we will do more Gears games in the future. This won't be the only one. We will do 2 and 3 eventually. I don't know about here's Chapter 12 complete. Dead Space complete. I do not know about Gears of War Judgment. Gears of War Judgment is an absolutely gorgeous game, but it's basically horde mode organized into a campaign. You do horde mode over and over and over again throughout the whole thing, and that's basically all it is. So I don't know about that one. I own it. I've beaten it once. The best part of it is the section of it that was cut out of Gears of War 3. Anyway, thank you guys for watching Let's Play Dead Space. This is a great game, highly recommended. We'll get to the video review soon. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you could share this video, it would help out a lot. And we'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks everybody, and goodbye.